All right, welcome back. This is another top 8 for Horseman Tournament 27. This is 7 and Lucas. And let's get to the match. Love the playmat. Now, with a playmat like that, I'm expecting red. So my guess is Kurt Ape. Oh, maybe? Tiger Kurt Ape. There you go. Chain lightning on the Kurt Ape. So we got red and black on one end. Looks like we got some weenies going on here because he's got Pendelhaven. I'm wondering if I wonder which one his commander is. I can't think of the colors, but there is a commander that adds a whole bunch of 1/1 tokens. There's a stone. Now, I've been doing these ahead with you guys live, so I don't actually know the decks. I've actually find this more enjoyable personally, trying to guess based off of what I see. Sounds like my son's having fun next to me here with you guys. Now we have 4 mana. I'm wondering what I'm expecting something to pop out here. Yep, Swamp King. Gotta love Swamp King. I had a whole deck prepared for this. I decided not to play it. I was testing out some Chaos Orbs and some other possibilities for us here. If I played the tournament, I wouldn't have been able to test, so I decided to let these guys have some fun, and I'll stay out of it this round. So no answer to the Swamp King. Looks like Lucas is in thought here. Oh, there's a strip. I could definitely put a serious dampener on. Yeah, there's no Oubliette. I would end up stripping. I'd take out the double green, double red. I'd leave him down to 2 mana. Because you know he didn't play another one. So take a Taiga out. You know the 1/1's not going to affect him. Yeah, that's what I would do. Take the Taiga out. Take the colors offline. You know he's having mana issues. So worst case scenario, yeah, see he's still on 3. Now if he was on 4, he could be playing Urnums or all kinds of crazy stuff out. So it should give Lucas an extra attack with the Swamp King. If you want to see what the life are, look on Lucas's side. 20 sides are extremely hard, if not impossible to read. Well, looks like we got one of the 4 Horsemen Islands over there. Oh, love him. I don't know how to pronounce that guy's name, but that's basically a Royal Assassin on steroids. I love that card. Alright, there's the 4th land. Yep, there's the Erm. See, I had a feeling that's what was going to happen, so I think Lucas played it perfectly with the strip. It got him a blue source, allowed him to have the counter magic up. So depending on Lucas's deck, he could have him completely locked out for the rest of the game. There's an all-out swing. Yep, because I believe that Assassin's a 3/3. And there's a game. All right, we're going to go on to game number 2. All right, we're starting game number 2 here. A typical red and green fashion, if I'm taking guesses here, if he's playing Kurt Apes, Urnum, stuff like that, I'm expecting burn type spells. But one of my favorite lands I always play is Hammerheim. I love Hammerheim. I think it works so good with with Urnum, and I don't really see a lot of people playing a lot of it, but it removes the Oh, there's Hammerheim. And that's how I would play it. I'd play the red source out, holding the green source in my hand. Because if my opponent draws a strip mine first turn, he cannot take my Curd Ape offline. At least in theory, he won't be able to. Because chances are he won't play the strip mine out because he's going to play a colored source. Now there's a sideboard card flood, so that kills the Curd Ape anyway. Ooh. Got a factory. I'm expecting color problems on that end. And it looks like Lucas is a little behind on Steam here. That's actually good for... Oh. Alright, so I'm guessing there's Urnums in hand. So Lucas got to watch what he's doing because I'm expecting a 4/5 card out next turn. So I don't know if I tap out unless it's for... Yep, unless it's for Swamp King. Ooh, beautiful sideboard card right there. Goodbye, Swamp King. Alright, now I'm expecting a 4/5. Yep. Let's see if I'm right. Yep, there's an Urnum. Now Lucas is going to have to find answers. He does have double black, so depending on how many he plays, he might have an oubliette. So I'm expecting oubliette and the factory, yep. Now here's always an interesting play too. If you happen to play blue, I always main deck 2 boomerangs. If my opponent oubliette's my creature, on their end step, I'm boomerang their oubliette back to their hand. My creature is back in play, does not have a segment sickness then, and can attack. So I could do lethal. I think that's a maze, I can't tell. Attack for 2, we'll find out now. He could untap his own maze and play something else. Yep. So now it's still technically land 2, so now he has 3 mana up, so he could play something else or keep it for defense. Yep. So now Lucas won't be able to attack with his factory. Looks like we got more colored source mana there because of the stacks. I can't tell with the glares. There we go, and I can see the maze clearly. Alright. I'm expecting another 4-drop here. We're hesitating. So we're fixing on color now. We got plenty of every color, but that tells me the hesitation. He doesn't have answers. Or I should say big threats. Alright. Now see, that's an interesting play, because that's a 1/1, and a factory would kill it. So... But in case, you know, he had an answer for your factory, it is safe to kill that. So I guess the correct play would be to counter that 1/1, because that's dangerous. Another city. Do we have another one? And another remove soul. Alright, so this is actually good, because if he's playing his little weenies out, the remove soul is going to get used, and now he can play out an Urnum. I don't know what's in his hand, but I would keep my big creature or my legendary creature after I purposely check to see if there's any more counter magic from my opponent. So now I'm expecting a bigger creature to come out. Do we have a third one? Holy moly, that's funny. Do we have a third remove soul by some crazy chance? Nope. Alright, well, what do we got going on here with Lucas? If Lucas doesn't have a threat, and there's an answer for Lucas's factory, that's going to be really bad for Lucas. And you have a maze, so he could always attack with the factory and the whirling and just untap whatever he needs. All right, there's a Diamond Valley, but that's not really useful at the moment. So he's keeping some kind of control aspect in hand, but you know it's not creatures and you know it's not counter magic. So I'm expecting a double attack here and using the maze to untap whatever's unneeded. But he could also have an answer for the factory, so if he activates the factory, he might lose his land. Now, Lucas has a lot of life, so I don't know if I'd activate, personally. But you're going to have to do something with the Dervish. So, if he doesn't have another answer, he's going to have to block the Dervish. Expecting the untap of the Dervish here. Well, it looks like he went after the factory. So if the Dervish does damage, he gets a +1/+1 counter. Yep. Let's see what Lucas has. He must have something up his sleeve here. Oh, alright, well that'll do it. Pyrotechnics. That explains that at least. Yeah, there's an answer for that factory in his hand at this point. But worst case scenario, you sack at your own Diamond Valley. But he is going to take a damage for activating the factory because of the city. He's going to block that pump. Oh, I guess there is no answer. He just wanted to take the damage with the City of Brass. It's still progress. Smart move. The son agrees with you. Let's see what we have here. I wonder if both players are kind of in a tank a little here because there's a lot of hesitation and body language. It shows me there's not all that many choices they have. Yep, there's a dib. But that dib is not going to do anything on its own except for hurt Lucas. Because there's a Maze of Ith on the opponent's side here, so... Yep, there's a Kurt 8. And a pass, that's all I would do. He's going to take a damage. Now, see, this is where you can really mess with Lucas a little. If he attacks in, you could just use the maze and untap him. So right now, the dib is just going to do damage to Lucas. And I don't know if... I'm assuming that was playing 3 colors. Alright, we had a move of a factory here and a long pause. Looks like we had to step away for a second. Possibly. I see shadows moving, but it looks like he's still sitting there. Nope, decided not. Oh, just got a chain lightning here on the Kurt 8. I'm assuming because Lucas played the dib that there's another creature coming out. Looks like we're sending it back to the life total. So a little bit of chain going on here. I'm assuming that's going to be the end of it. Alright, so we're going to swing in. There's the untap with the maze. I always say attack because people forget they have their maze and they take the damage out of instinct. And then they remember after, but it's too late. Looks like we had a quick draw and pass, I think. Yep. No. There's the pass. Yep. Swing and a maze. Ooh, looks like we just lost camera. Alright, so we got the camera back. And we're on Forest and Pass, I guess. Now, see, I wish I would have started keeping tabs, but that dib is doing nothing but costing Lucas a lot of life. Now, Lucas does have a maze on his end, but it's not. There we go. Now we're using a Diamond Valley. And there's the pass with 3 cards in hand. And a pass back. And another pass. Looks like we just got some back and forth action going on here. Looks like found another city brass. And the pass. Yep, there's a Swamp King. We set aside specific mana, so that means another cast. Yep, Ur Graders. Well, there's a death to the king. He's got a lot of cards in hand, so I mean, I can't think of what they would be, but there's a pass with 2 left in hand on Lucas's end, but I mean, we got to be close to a full grip over there. And he's got a lot of land. Yeah, he's got 5 cards in hand. I'm trying to imagine what those 5 cards are. Looks like there was some discussion about the Raiders. And that's the attack and the remove from combat. Looks like all forces. It looks like he plays a full play set of City of Brass, so I'm expecting there's a full nother color that we're not seeing in here. There's attack in the maze. Alright, now we have to be, I mean, he has to have something to play. He's got a huge hand. There's a Penelhaven. I mean, no matter what it is, at least, you know, he start throwing some threats out. Eventually, he's going to be able to use his maze to his advantage. Nope, just the Chain Lightning. Just going to sack the Raiders for life. This is another reason we actually discussed possibly doing 2 strip mines, because of challenges like this where the game's going to go on for probably an extra 20 minutes longer than necessary. So there's just a simple attack and a maze and a pass. So without extra land destruction, or even just a Chaos Orb being added, which is what we're really toying with now, we need some other kind of removal for enchantments and lands and stuff like that, so the games are not stalled. Oh! Well, that's a fun card. That's a problem for Lucas. He's got to answer that guy. Yeah, in case you're watching, that's what I commented earlier. As soon as the Chain Lightning's cast, you just sack it to the Diamond Valley. Oh, do we have an answer? Void Fate. That is awesome. Now I know why he had so many cards in hand. That's a big problem for Lucas. He's got a... Two, one. No, it's a 3 toughness. Alright, so let's see if he has land destruction. If he can destroy that Maze of Ith, that is big time problems for Lucas. Let's see if he has a fissure or something. I mean, it's red and green again, so I'm expecting destroy permanent, or at least destroy creature or land or something. Here we go. Are we going to see it? Yep. There goes the maze. At least that's what I would do. Oh, no, he's getting his... I think it was a Kurt though. Oh, no, it was an Urnum. Okay. Alright, there's a swing, so you know you're going to untap and just take the 2. There's the factory. I'm sure he has an answer. You see, I would have killed the maze. I know the Urnum was under there, but I would have killed the Maze of Ith because you can't untap your creatures. But there's a big swing coming next turn at Lucas. But that Maze of Ith is so valuable. For instance, without that Maze of Ith, he can't stop the legendary creature. Yep, now it looks like he's gonna lose it again. Yeah, that was the only thing I thought of. A land destruction is permanent. So destroying a land like Maze of Ith is a permanent effect. Unless he does recall, he's not getting it back. So in my mind, I would destroy the maze. You know the factory's not going to go off to block that big guy. So we're going to maze one, activate factory on the other, and probably untap it with his own maze. I mean, he must have something up his sleeve. Or not. Ah, okay, there we go. I was going to say, something must be up the sleeve. So now he's going to chain the factory. And there's the sack to the factory. Yeah, because you got to remember, a factory's a creature until in a turn. I love the legendary cards, and that's why I like the space events, because the legends get played more. That is a lot of mana on Lucas's end, actually on both ends. Oh, got another dib. Can't tell what he tapped for it, but all the glare, I missed it too, so that's a good question. I can't tell. I know there's an island, a volcanic island, and something else. I don't think the city, because I see the city under the maze now, I think, and the other city under the swamp, possibly. Looks like we got a pass with 3. Yep, alright, so there's the dib damage. Again, we're back to the taking dib damage, because you know it's not going to do anything. Alright, so it looks like he does have 3 cities there. So maybe he should have took damage, I can't tell, but there are 3 cities in play on Lucas's end. There's the destruction of the maze, like we were talking about earlier with the other permanent. So the maze is a permanent destruction. That might cost... That might, I'm sorry, not cost, but give Lucas the game. Because if Lucas did not have his maze, the game probably would have been over. Alright, sorry about that, guys. Had a little alarm go off on myself. I had to fix some of my health challenges there. Alright, so there's a pyrotechnics go off. And there's a Diamond Valley. Now, if you guys are watching this and some of you guys are Guy's in a committee with me. This is the reason I was wanting to test the 2 times category, because this is now the second one of the games I watched where it went on a lot longer than it should, because there's very few ways that are not late game cards to deal with lands, especially Diamond Valley. I believe that's one of the altars for in prison. There's another, there's another Hellraiser one, which is 4 Horsemen altar for Abyss, which is awesome. But I believe that's in prison. I really want to know what all these cards are. Steven's hand here. Looks like we got another dib. Are we going to see another big burn spell for the dib? Another pyrotechnics? Oh, there's a Kurt 8. Alright, are we going to... Looks like we're... Yeah, looks like we're taking out the dib. Actually shocked it didn't get fed to the Diamond Valley there. Unless I missed it. Alright, let's see what we got here. He really needs to get rid of that maze. And or Diamond Valley, but maze is definitely the one that has to go. Yep, so there's the imprison and the maze. Let's see what we got here. Chain Lightning? I don't know what's in his stack of lands here, but... There's the pass. Yep, that's going to be the maze. And the pass. I'm not sure if Lucas fixed the life total on his side for the Chain Lightning. Uh-oh. There's the Royal Assassin on steroids. Now that's... Well... If you don't know what that legend does, you should really look it up. He is awesome. And I always call him a Royal Assassin on steroids for a reason. 1, he's a 3/3. 2, it's not just killing tapped creatures. So look him up, see if you can figure it out. Let me know what you really think of him. He's pretty dangerous. There's another 5-card grip. I don't know if he has a lot of super expensive reactive cards or just cards that are possible dead cards against certain matches. I'm not really sure here, but yep. We have something going. Yep, there goes the Kurt 8. There's the attack in. There we go. Now we fix the life total. I want to see what's in his hand. Is it full of lands? Pyrotechnics. Are we going to feed it? Yep. There's 3 more. I thought he was a 3/3. There's an unsummon, I'm sure. Remove soul, I'm sure. Yep. I'm expecting a damage spell here. Oh! Ooh, that's a problem. There's another one. And Swamp King. He must have a lot of lands in his hand. Chain it back. Yep, Bloodlusts. Huh. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed those games. And learning curve for everybody. Destroy the Maze of Iths. Everybody have a wonderful night.